27th of Califact, in the fog, the dead room.
Sir? 12th of Ator, in the year 218 after Deadhaus. It was a 3-day ride from the eastern reaches to the capital, or at least it would have been were I traveling alone. With the caged ghoul hitched to my horses, the journey was far more complicated and perilous. If Imperial patrols were to intercept me, I would undoubtedly be questioned. And if they noticed my cargo, not even my badge could save me then. I had to move in secret, riding only under cover of darkness. Covering the cage with a tarp hid the ghoul from prying eyes, but that did little to appease my horses, who bucked against their bindings. They could sense the unnatural thing so near to them. For that, I had my chimes, an inquisitor's tool whose sound can still the untrained mind, useful for breaking the influence of the dead over human thoughts, or for interrogations. The ghoul itself was less than cooperative. Every so often, it thrashed against its cage and hissed. While the chimes calmed the horses, the thrashing would undoubtedly attract unwanted attention. Thankfully, I had planned for this before I left the village. The mayor knew better than to ask why I required a sow to be slaughtered, or its remains butchered into long, thin strips. But those pieces of meat served me well as I pushed them through the spaces in the cage. The ghoul was, well, not exactly quieted, but distracted at least. And so I made my way closer to the capital each night, ringing my chimes and feeding my passenger, until at last I could see the city gates ahead. The guards would stop me there. In these times of war, there were no unguarded passages into the capital to smuggle so large a thing as my cage. Now came the time for my gamble. I dismounted and lifted the top. The ghoul was huddled into one corner of its confines and stayed unmoving as I peered in. I know you can hear me. I suspect you can understand me. The ghoul remained motionless. In a moment, they're going to be stopped by Imperial guards. They're going to inspect this cage, and you're going to let them. You're not going to move a muscle, because you're just a corpse that was taken by consumption. It made no acknowledgement. A dead body, not undead, not capable of movement, not forbidden entry to the capital. Understand? Because if you don't understand, and you should do anything a dead body wouldn't, you'll be burned in that cage. I returned to my horses, wondering if I was making the last mistake of my life. Sure enough, one of the guards approached me at the gate.
Hail, Grand Inquisitor. What is your cargo and purpose?
A cadaver. The guard's eyebrow raised at my answer. For research purposes. This was technically true.
What sort of research?
He asked, his hand resting on his sword hilt. You know I can't tell you that, Legionnaire. I told him, which was also technically true.
I'll need to take a look.
He circled around to the back of the cage, and my heart began to hammer. So you can weigh in with your medical expertise? I said, hoping that annoyance would mask my terror.
So the captain doesn't come down on me for breaking protocol.
He lifted the top.
Oh, my God! Ugh, the smell!
From where I was sitting, I couldn't see inside the cage. I could only pray the ghoul was far more clever than anyone could guess.
What happened to this thing?
Taken by consumption. You'll want to keep your distance. I heard the top drop down.
Inquisitor's work turns my stomach.
The guard said, coming around the cage.
Your horses seem a bit agitated. Will you need assistance moving them?
No, they're only tired from riding. Let me just... I fumbled with sweaty hands to strike my chimes, and the horses quieted.
How do I get some of those?
the guard said, nodding towards the chimes.
You don't.
I stared ahead, so as not to gaze into the man's eyes with an expression of restrained horror, but it dawned on me that this was also unnatural.
Well, it was pleasant speaking with you, but I really must be going.
He furrowed his brow and regarded me for a moment, an eternity. Then he motioned to the others, who opened the gate, and I rode into the capital of the Sacian Empire with a monster in tow. I can scarcely recall the ride to my laboratory. Once or twice, the wheels of the cage caught a particularly bad bump, and I was certain the ghoul would rouse. Surely this creature had not understood and cooperated in my ploy. Surely I was mad for even dreaming such a thing. But it remained silent. An assistant took the horses to the stables after they were unhitched from the cage. It was too large to bring to the upper floors, so I would bring my tools and materials down. But first, I barred the doors and shuttered every window. At last, I was free to continue my work to save a people who would destroy me if they discovered it. But none of that mattered. I had an unliving specimen, not the remains of an undead, not a sample, an intact and fully animated ghoul. I pulled down the tarp, exposing the ghoul to the torchlight. It lay on one side, curled into the fetal position, a most convincing corpse. They're alone now. Slowly, the ghoul uncurled and pulled itself upright. Under the torchlight, I could better examine its anatomy than our first encounter. Its tattered flesh hung from its body in shreds, exposing bloodied sinew and yellowed bones beneath. And these skeletal muscular features were severely deformed, twisted as if by massive growth trauma. Extreme curvature of the spine rendered bipedal movement impossible, but elongation of the forelimbs compensated for this, allowing the creature to move on all fours. Both its hands and feet, or what used to be hands and feet, had been stretched to enormous proportion and were tipped with hooked claws. Jagged rows of barbed teeth lined a mouth that gaped like the unhinged jaws of a serpent. Above that, a pair of nasal slits replaced what once was a nose, and only fleshy indentations remained where once there were eyes. And yet, strangest of all, upon the flesh of its forehead, a symbol had been carved. I thought perhaps I had been mistaken when I saw it in the cemetery, but there it was in the torchlight, an oval crossed with many lines. "Did you do this to yourself?" I asked, tapping my own forehead. The ghoul lurched against its cage and hissed. "You're very strong, but that's dead man's iron. I had this cage specially crafted at Fort Serenus." Slashed against the bars with its claws, sending sparks flying. "Yes, by all means, get it all out of your system." It leapt and struck the roof of the cage. "I can tell you're just as excited as I am to be here." It hissed, low and menacing. "Allow me to introduce myself. I am Alaric von Bella, Grand Inquisitor of the Sacian Empire. Do you know what that means? It means I am very skilled at interrogations. And while I must admit that most of my practice has been with living subjects, I think I already know what motivates you." I reached into a sack on the table nearby and withdrew a hunk of raw pig flesh. The ghoul reacted immediately, scuttling up to my side of the cage and gripping the bars, much as the way a human prisoner might. I could see the nasal slits on its face flaring as it sniffed in my direction. "You see, we both have something the other wants. Now tell me, who made that mark on your forehead?" The ghoul simply remained where it was, clutching the bars of the cage. "It's far too late to pretend you don't understand me now, especially after that performance at the gate." It remained silent. "No? All right, then." I placed the meat back into the bag. "We'll try again tomorrow." As I ascended the stairs, I heard it howling and thrashing. I suppose it must have done so for much of the night, unbeknownst to me, as I slept more soundly than I have in many years. The next morning, I returned to find my guest still pressed against the bars, facing the sack of meat.
Did you stay like that all night, or did you hear me coming?
I asked, sitting on the table next to the sack. The ghoul said nothing.
I thought you might be more talkative after a night to think things over.
Still nothing.
I'm only going to ask this once. Who made that mark? I'm afraid that's not an answer,
I said, leaving to the stairs once more. I could not help but smile as I heard its outrage behind me. The servants had been ordered to stay away from my laboratory so long as they saw the windows shuttered. No one could hear the shrieks. I had as much time as I needed. The following day, I decided to breakfast in front of the cage, and on that particular morning, I was craving meat. I sat down with a plate full of cured ham, fried sausages, salted bacon, and cow's liver. I ate slowly.
You know, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. The body needs nourishment after going without it during sleep. You remember sleep, yes?
The ghoul said nothing, and though its face lacked the subtle expression of a human's, I could have sworn it was watching me with contempt.
By the way, how did you get that mark?
I asked. No answer.
Well, it's been great catching up, but I have a full day ahead of me. I'll see you tomorrow.
I turned back toward the stairs.
Wait.
A rasping voice from behind stopped me in my tracks. Slowly, I turned to face the ghoul, who still sat clutching the bars of the cage.
Do my ears deceive me?
For a moment, it simply sat there, watching me, and I felt a deep gnawing in my gut. Had I imagined it?
We made the sign. Yes.
The ghoul tapped one of its claws against its forehead. I rushed back to the table and took a piece of meat from the sack. I was so excited, I scarcely noticed the stench of it.
Who is we?
No meat, no questions.
Ah, of course,
I said, and tossed a small piece of flesh through the bars. It lunged at the meat, snatching it from the floor with its teeth and swallowing it in an instant.
You said we made the sign. What does that mean? Who is we?
We.
It tapped a claw against its chest.
Yes, you and who else?
No meat, no questions.
You and who else?
I repeated, tossing it another piece.
Only we.
It tapped its chest again. I paused for a moment, then tossed another piece of meat.
How many are you?
You're two. Like you. Yes.
It said, tapping where its eyes used to be. I set the sack of meat down and sighed. Had I managed to capture a mad ghoul? Or perhaps they were all like this, and therefore of little use in questioning. The ghoul watched me patiently as I reflected.
What does the sign mean, then? Why did you make it?
I asked, remembering the payments required for the question.
We made it for need.
Did someone command you to do this?
Only we.
Then you carved a symbol into your own flesh and don't understand why?
Not all purpose. It's for understanding.
Perhaps you are not as clever as I thought.
Perhaps.
I raised my hands to my face to knead the flesh in frustration, but quickly recoiled at the smell of them. I could tell that the ghoul would need more motivation if it was to be properly forthcoming.
Very well then, ghoul. I have no more questions for you today. Perhaps tomorrow your answers will make more sense.
Perhaps.
I left it in its cage, relieved to be away from the stench at last, but less hopeful for the answers it might give willingly. At least, whatever truth might lack in its words would undoubtedly be found in its dissection. For 2 days more, I did not visit the ghoul. I knew it could endure at least this long without sustenance, as it did so before it was captured in the cemetery. When next I approached the cage, the ghoul hissed low in its throat.
That's no way to greet your one chance of getting any food.
Alaric von Bella.
That's right.
I set a fresh stack of meat on the table next to me, and the ghoul's head snapped to face it.
And what is your name?
No meat, no ghoul.
I'll be on my way then.
I collected the sack and made for the stairs.
Wait!
He cried, shrill and full of desperation. But I did not turn to face it. I left it with its hunger another day more. The following evening, I brought the meat back down to the cage. The ghoul lay on its side, curled into fetal position.
I know the dead do not sleep,
I said, setting the meat down. But the ghoul was unmoving.
and I know you're clever enough to pretend.
I tossed a chunk of meat through the bars, and the ghoul snapped upright, devouring it in a frenzy.
That's what I thought. Now, I have the strangest hunch that you're feeling a bit more forthcoming today. So, we're going to have a conversation, man to man. And if I find your answer sufficient, then and only then will I feed you.
Ask.
What is your name?
We are ghoul.
That's not a name. I am not called human. I am called Alaric.
Von Bella.
What are you called?
Depends on who is calling. Yes.
What do you call yourself?
We are ghoul.
Then the dead make no distinction among ghouls? They call each and every one of them the same? How would orders be given this way?
We are folk ghoul.
That is two names.
We are two.
I see only one ghoul.
You see more than you know, Alaric von Bella.
The ghoul tapped the shallow indentations where its eyes once were.
I'm warning you, ghoul. You risk your existence for riddles.
We give you truth.
Master Ulrich, there's an urgent message from...
A servant came bounding down the stairs, in clear disregard for my orders. His words faltered as he saw the cage, and his face whitened. His panicked eyes darted between myself, the ghoul, and the sack in my hand. I moved in reflex, snatching the chimes and striking them before the servant had the chance to scream. The fear fell away from him, and his eyes glazed over.
What in the name of the gods are you doing down here? I said that no one should enter.
The Emperor ordered that the Grand Inquisitor be summoned immediately.
The servant spoke, as if from a faraway dream.
What did you see in this room, young man?
I saw the living communing with the dead. I saw heresy.
Are you sure this is what you saw? Are you certain that the fumes from the laboratory did not cloud your judgment?
I...
We can keep them silent. Yes.
Keep yourself silent.
The servant stared blankly ahead.
Go, dear Emperor. We will protect your secrets.
You would damn me to conspiracy.
You are damned already. Yes. This one will squeal like a suckling pig, either to them or for us.
Is this true? Would you testify to what you have seen this day?
Oh, most certainly.
The servant answered in his dreamlike calm, completely detached from the implication of what he was saying.
I never did like the Grand Inquisitor.
I gripped the hammer of the chimes in white-knuckled agony. With enough time, perhaps I could have molded the servant's thoughts, weakened the memories. But I had no such time. It was in this moment, more than any other, that I felt as if I stood at the threshold of a terrible path. One that I knew I had little choice but to take. I struck the chimes once more. You will wait until I've left this room, and then you will approach the cage. You will reach through the bars. Do you understand?
Of course.
He answered, but he did not understand. Not really. I took one last look at the ghoul, who said nothing, and then I fled so quickly that I heard nothing behind me. I went before the Emperor. He spoke to me of reports on a new threat, a so-called Crimson Cult that was forming north of the capital. But I scarcely heard a word he said. My eyes were on the Praetorians that lined the council chamber. They stood unmoving, staring ahead. Or were they staring at me? Did they suspect what I had done? And why didn't they say anything? Were they biding their time until I left? No, of course not. There's no way they could know. When at last the Emperor dismissed me, I walked back to the laboratory, but my steps were slow. I did not want to reach my destination. What I found when I did was unthinkable. Blood and viscera coated the floor and walls of the laboratory. These fluids and a flap of flesh covered in hair, a scalp, were all that remained of the unlucky servant. But the door to the cage had been opened, and the ghoul was nowhere to be seen. In a blind panic, I took up my satchel and a crossbow loaded with silver-tipped bolts. There were tracks, elongated handprints in the blood. They led towards the sewers. I pursued as quickly as I could, foregoing the caution I would normally possess in pursuit of the dead. For if my quarry escaped, my chances were about as good as if it caught me by surprise. I found the grating of the sewers torn open. It was but simple iron bars, not the stuff of Fort Serenus. I climbed in after the ghoul, crossbow trained ahead. The stench barely registered in my mind. A pungent cocktail of chemical runoff from the lab merged with the stream of human filth from the city. The many gleaming eyes of rats regarded me from the shadows. How like them I had become, compelled into the sewers, conspiring against my own. But it was for the greater good. It was for the Empire. The bloodied tracks ran straight through the sewer and did not emerge once more. It had done that on purpose. I'm sure of it. The winding path came at last to an intersection of many tunnels. It could have taken any of them.
Where are you?
I shouted, hearing my voice echo through the many tunnels.
How did you open the cage?
We did not.
The ghoul's voice echoed from all around me, as it came from every tunnel.
Then how did you escape?
The morsel set us free, yes.
Impossible!
It is not. You rang your bell. It softened his mind. He did as we asked. Freed us and fed us.
The full horror dawned upon me then. I had underestimated the ghoul's cunning once again.
Face me!
We will not. No.
Coward!
I shrieked, whirling my crossbow from one opening to the next.
Pride is the first that hunger devours.
Damn your riddle! And damn your hide!
I spat, and then I heard it. A sound I had never fathomed a ghoul could make. Laughter. It poured through the tunnels, as rank and vile as the sewage.
You won't be laughing when they find you!
The laughter fell silent. I knew that I had to keep it talking. That's right. This city is swarming with guards. Even you can't hope to evade them all.
We do not need to, no. We can stay in the tunnels.
You'll starve down here. I stepped carefully toward my best guess as to where its voice had come.
We can dig far. New tunnels, yes. We can go quickly. They will not find us.
I neared the corner around which the voice sounded, pressing my back against the wall and steadying my hand on the crossbow. You think so? You don't even know how big this city is. You were covered when I brought you in. Your hunger will find you before you find a way out.
Then you will show us the way out.
It said, nearing the other side of the corner. I was close enough to hear its rattling breath. If the stones were not between us, I could have reached out and touched its many rows of barbed teeth. I placed my finger on the trigger of the crossbow, took a deep breath, and leapt around the corner. Nothing faced me. The passage was empty. A low hiss rose from behind, standing the hair on my neck on end. I whirled, but the ghoul was quicker. Its elongated hand gripped my skull and shoved me into the stones with such force that my vision turned white and my ears rang.
Alaric von Veller.
Its voice dripped with pure hatred, and it brought its gaping maw before my face.
We could eat your head and all its secrets.
Its throat gurgled in what I can only imagine was anticipation.
But that would be against the rules.
I struggled to speak through the fog of the concussion and the rotted hand across my mouth.
Afraid that's not an answer.
It mocked me. I thrashed in vain against the strength that such decayed limbs should not possess.
Yes, by all means, get it all out of your system.
In a daze, the only thought that occurred was to sink my teeth into its flesh, which merely caused it to cock its head.
The Grand Inquisitor would make a grand ghoul.
Then I realized I was still holding the crossbow. The silver-tipped bolt twanged free, punching through the ghoul's core, and the flesh where it struck was instantaneously burned away, causing the creature to fall in half. Its howls filled the sewer tunnels, scattering the rats, but I stood my ground. I pulled another silvered bolt from my coat and began to reload. The upper half of the ghoul flailed wildly as it shrieked, so it could feel pain after all, but this pain was short-lived. Soon it was clawing toward me, legless, hissing in rage. I fired again, striking the left shoulder, which burned away the tissue that attached the ghoul's arm. But it kept clawing toward me, even with only one arm left. I have no doubt it could have killed me, even so maimed, had I not backed away.
Coward! Face me!
I loaded another bolt, aimed for the shoulder of its only remaining limb, then fired, leaving the ghoul utterly crippled. It no longer approached me, but only writhed in place, rattling and gurgling in its throat. I fell back against the stone wall and sank to the ground some feet away from my quarry. I had come so close to losing everything I worked for, losing what I killed for. But in its current state, I knew that I could restrain the ghoul, return it to its cage, so long as I was mindful of its head. Even without any limbs, I will never again underestimate this creature for so long as I live. The ghoul itself should go on existing for as long as I keep feeding it. I think I won't dissect it after all. Not for a long, long while. I rose to my feet, feeling my head throb for the effort. The sewer passage lay strewn with limbs and blood and fluids, both the ghouls and my own. But the rats will make short work of the evidence. On the sins of men are the vermin fed, and tonight their kind shall feast. Alaric von Bella, Grand Inquisitor of the Thasian Empire.
So fucking good. So good. Very, very well worth that half hour of silence. Anyway, Varric, how are you today, sir? Thank you for the raid. No. Last night I listened on Spotify. I think I'm on episode. Here, I'll tell you which episode I'm on. Hold on. Spotify. I'm on of Power. I'm at the beginning of Power. So, what's that, like episode 5 or 6 in season 2? I was doing some fishing in Diablo 4 for the Murloc that they got in there, and just fucking brain dead and mindless. So I threw the podcast on to start absorbing, and it's where we are as far as my streaming though. It's also the last bit of lore I got to drop. This is my solo character. I figured since I put the first 7, the class lore up in one of their first streams, I'd start catching up the streams with the lore. Play them as I get them, or, you know. Yeah, that ghoul is cool as fuck. That Alaric, huh? I mean, I know you know how it all ends. I don't yet, but oh man, he's messing. He's messing around. He's messing around. He's gonna end up messing up real good. I can feel it. I can feel it. I hope that ghoul gets to eat him. Just kidding. I get that. I don't know how it ends. I'm definitely speculating, but I think he's gonna end up inadvertently screwing himself over pretty good. Right? I'm telling you, I think Alaric's gonna end up screwing himself over pretty good by the end of it all. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll see. So good though. The lore is just so good. I couldn't stop. In fact, if it wasn't for the lore, I never would have been able to fish for the several hours that I fished both last night before bed and this morning. That shit's just mind-numbing. I hate it. So, again, shout out to Dennis and Apocalypse for killing the whole RNG thing in games, because it's just bullshit. This will probably be my last season in Diablo as well. I just don't enjoy the Battle Passy season gimmicky gameplay. The RNG is fucking abysmal. And if anybody doesn't know this game, and part of the vision is to kill off, or to rather provide an alternative game space that is not RNG and low drop rate, soul-sucking, just mindlessly fucking numb gameplay that has saturated the industry. So, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Apocalypse. Because to be honest with you, without the podcast and the lore of Deadhaus Sonata, I probably wouldn't even be finishing up this season in Diablo. Anyway. All right, Varric. Yeah. Get my head back in the game. We are two like you. What do you think that means? I don't know. Because the ghoul, when the ghoul says that to Alaric, he points at his eyes. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's either meaning we're two eyes, right? Like, I don't know. That ghoul is far more intelligent than it's letting on. That's for damn sure. Definitely took Alaric for a ride there, especially with that servant. I don't know. Because I am pondering the glyph it carved into its own head as well. Like, did it carve the glyph before? Like, was it a human that carved the glyph in its head and then became a ghoul as a direct result of carving the glyph in its head? Or was it something that happened after the ghouldom? Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. Now with you, sir, I know you're a lore hound. I know you're the scholar here. So, what do you think it means? I mean, what's your thoughts on it? Because I don't know. Either it's not cryptic and it's just like the ghoul messing with Alaric. It kind of like has a almost like a symbiote kind of feel, like Venom, right? Because Venom talks a lot like that ghoul, like in plural, like. But we all know Venom is two beings, right? It's the symbiote and the host. So, are ghouls hosts? That's why I'm asking you the questions. Wait a second. More cryptic. More breadcrumbs. Yeah, I don't know. Only time will tell, I suppose. Because, I mean, I know for the next at least 5 or 6 episodes, Alaric does interact with the ghoul and mention it a couple more times. But yeah, I don't know, because the glyph in its head, or the sigil, or whatever, the symbol, whatever word we're gonna agree upon, if I was a human seeking power, right, in some sort of occultish or whatever way, arcane way, I could see where carving the glyph in my own forehead and then taking my own life or whatever might reanimate me as a ghoul, within whatever confines being a ghoul would entail. I could also see where I had died and someone or something else had put the glyph on me. However, the ghoul says it did it to itself. So, without any external sources, it would have to be the ghoul before or after ghouldom. And I definitely think it's associated with its like reanimated state or its undead state by consumption. So alright, okay. Sorry, that made me flash forward a little bit. You asked where I am in the story. Am I correct? Did Alaric create the whites? Like in their entirety, or did he create his own group of whites? On a sidebar conversation, I don't know. Ghouls are made by consumption. So... Okay, awesome. Because I caught that last night. Alright, so if ghouls are made by consumption and it carves the glyph into its own head, I'm gonna need more story to continue speculating, I think. Minion damage. Restoration. So. Oh shit, he's gonna throw me a wrench. Alright, what you got? What you got? All these in minion duration. I'm just gonna burn them.
Those with the cursed blades.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
Like you're looking for
I'm just
blades.
mindlessly clicking. So, what's the wrench? What's the wrench? Is it something with the lore?
Through the charnel veil lies the way to the Thasian catacombs. You must.
Third of Oct.
And look at the calendar. Okay. I don't know if I can do both here. Let's see.
In the year 218 after Deadhaus. At dawn, on the 5th day of our search, it came upon the vampire's dwelling, a ruined tower.
Third act. Okay. And look at the calendar of vampires, 3rd of Oct.
Kogalum, Rao, Ator, Hara, Enelun.
I'm still learning the name of the month and everything, so bear with me.
Hiem, Sanguilum, Bruin, Califact.
Which one is Oct? Oh, there we go.
The vessel. Ustilian ships most often tried their luck in crossing the Sea of Rage in Oct. They must have believed that the month whose sign was the vessel would make their voyage more likely to succeed. But dragons do not care nearly so much for what shapes humans draw in the stars as they do sending ships to the bottom of the sea.
Oh, I see. Look at the calendar of vampires, 3rd of Oct, of rodents, 23rd of Loud, the dates they're written. Look at of whites. Okay, okay. So wait a second here. Where do I see that on the actual radio plays? Or do I see that,
17th of Califact in the year 218 after Deadhaus. Another southern fortress was lost, and visit 300 men.
Califact?
Deadhaus takes no prisoners.
Gotcha,
It
understood.
has no need for them. Even the most loyal Imperial soldier
I asked
will
that just
divulge
because
his
you said the
secrets
dates
without
they are written.
hesitation once he has been raised from the dead. And so these losses are 17th of Califact.
17th of Califact. So that...
Califact golden. Califact the golden.
We're on day 28.
Chance and fortune are transient.
So
They
is the game
change.
taking...
For this the
it can't
Ustilians
be.
named the sign of the
Is the-
golden in
Is the game taking place... Let me rephrase my question here. Alaric, and it's what, 218? The year is 218 before Deadhaus, so 37 AD is after Deadhaus? Is that, because I'm just putting all this together as well. I totally assumed 37 AD was, of course, AD in our traditional sense after death. As far as how in the real world AD is calculated, right? You got BC and AD, before Christ and after that. So is it 37 after Deadhaus? Is that correct? Oh, okay. What you're getting at is the radio plays are not in chronological order. Got you, because, and I'm not sure if this AD is the same AD, because in the, you know what I mean, at the end of, come on, close. Uh-oh. There we go.
3rd of Oct, in the year 218 after Deadhaus.
See, in the year
Dog.
218 after Deadhaus, so... Does the lore happen before the game or after the game takes place and we just are getting the lore? I mean, it can't be after the game. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because if that's the year 218 after Deadhaus, that means that that's 190 years from now, essentially. So are we getting the lore and then we get to play out that 190 years to catch up to the lore? And that only makes sense if this 37 AD is after Deadhaus. Otherwise, it stands to reason that all of Alaric's lore and the Chronicles of the Grand Inquisitor are prelude to the game. Okay, well that is a good question, right? Like, because it definitely sets some stuff up, and you know, I did not even take note that the plays were out of order. I didn't even take note of that. You know what I mean? So that's wild. Because yeah, these are the months. To everybody who's like trying to, I don't know, even know how many viewers we have or whatever. I don't really keep track of that. But anybody who finds this later, anybody who's here now, these are obviously the months, right? All 12 months. Varric just educated me that these are the seasons, the color codings of seasons, right? Green is spring, red summer, bronze or orange is fall, and blue is winter. So he also just let me know that the radio plays are all not totally in order per se, even though you got episode 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Episodes 1 through 7, right? But they're not in chronological order. They're just episodes 1 through 7 in the order of release. So the devil's in the details, as they say. Yes, you're absolutely right. If it is accurate, we are playing, like, we're going to be building Deadhaus, right? Like this is, yes, and that's why I wanted to know, why I was asking. If the calendar is accurate, then we are 39 years after Deadhaus? Yes, right. So Alaric's talking 218 after Deadhaus, so that would be 190 something, 100 whatever, mathematically, 188, 190 years into the future would be when Alaric is recording the lore or doing his bit as the Inquisitor. but it does not make sense due to the fact that we are at the time of the awakened. Yeah, I really want to know the AD thing. I think that will you can listen to the radio plays out of order and still. Yeah, gotcha. And it does all make sense. Like, if you listen to it all, it does. I mean, even being out of order, it makes sense as to what's happening. Because I do believe everything he's recorded is in 218, or everything I've heard is in 218 anyway. But I definitely need to know the AD thing. I definitely need to know if this is like held in the same regard as the real world, or if it means after Deadhaus. Because if it is in reference to the real world, obviously it's Malorum is the fantasy world we're on, right? There's Malorum here.
Malorum, lodestone of the primordial aspect of magic. Of course, all aspects run through Malorum, but the primordial is strongest. This is the aspect of physical forces, the magic that flows in the winds and seas, that trembles in stone and rages in flame. Dragons attuned to this aspect lie dormant in the world, indistinguishable from mountains and glaciers and rivers, until such time as something should awaken their wrath.
All right, sir. Well, you have a great dinner. And yes, time jumps would be kind of interesting, especially since we were talking about how long time, the duration of time in game. But you do have a good dinner, sir. And thank you as always. For sure. Very awesome. Ooh, movement speed. Too good to pass up. Too good to pass up. I like movement speed.
Dehostia.
Oh, okay.
First of Califact. Clear skies, like an open flame.
And the sun's up. So, I'm going to take this opportunity to explain the clock to anybody who's here and doesn't know, or anybody in the future. I think I will turn this into a clip and post it in its own. So this is a celestial clock, Deadhaus Sonata. You got your time. Everything here has voiceover as well. All right.
Noon. Waxing moon.
Right, so anyway, there's your time. The moon, the weather, the day, the month, and the year. Day, month, year. All these are the months.
Califact, the Oct, the Cogalun, Lau.
So on and so forth. This planetary chart here, these are all the planets. Hopefully I'm explaining this right anyway. As I've come to understand it, this is ascension. There's orangish half oval here. So when all of these planets, or whatever planets are in here, will be in alignment, they glow. And I'll get to that at the end. All these circles in the center here are obviously the planet's orbit around Malorum, which is where we are.
Malorum, lodestone of the primordial aspect of magic.
All right, so when no other bodies are in alignment, Malorum may grant inscriptions. So since there's nothing in alignment, this is what's going on in Malorum, right? All of this detail here. When the planets are in alignment, they all do different stuff.
But
this is what the planets do.
Storm of the psychic.
All right.
And
I'm definitely a novice when it comes to this. I just learned a lot of this last night myself. or at least come to understand a lot of this last night. But this clock is very important to setting things up and understanding, like, here you go, let's see. Open skies by day, vampires suffer the penalties of sunlight. By night, vampires are strengthened, right?
Noon.
Fire spells leave a burning area on the ground. The physical damage of vampires is weakened. So that means it's daylight, right? It's noon. So it means I'm obviously going to be doing less damage with being that I'm a vampire. So this is really, all this is important to understanding. You don't just click go. I mean, you can. But you don't, if you want to understand what's happening in the world, your buffs and debuffs, what the planets do, you definitely want to get to know this clock.
Nexus that resonates with the arc.
I still have a lot to learn, either way. But you can definitely see buffs, debuffs, information about the drops, so on and so forth. Now, when those planets are in alignment, see, oh look, there's one right there. You see that flashing glyph on the, here, damn, where's my mouse? Let's see if I can get it here. No. Alright, so right here, there's a glyph. That's a celestial gate. And that one is open currently, so I'm going to just go ahead and burn past the mobs, and I'm going to get to that gate. I don't need to really fight these guys anyway. I already got all my tarot cards stacked. I will come back and drink them all though. Give them something to play with. And yesterday in the real world, there was winter time, right? So in spring, so there was snow everywhere. The weather in this game is so good, so good. Totally ignoring all the stuff. So yeah, when you see these glyphs on the gates, and these gates are all around the map. Oh look, there's another one across. See if I can figure out why. Is it because of this?
Rowena is a loom through which the necrotic aspect of magic is woven. This is the aspect of death and decay, the magic that spirals with vultures over the dying, that festers in bloating corpses and writhes with the maggots through their hollowed guts. Dragons attuned to this aspect live in death, their bodies pocked and marred with decay, skeletal frames to which moldering flesh clings in shreds. Two of Mines.
I'm not sure.
The Four of Mines.
Look, that gate over there. Let's see if we can go in anyway. We sure the fuck can. Interesting. The only time I've seen these gates open prior to this was a few days ago. All the planets were in alignment here, and they were glowing. And throughout that time, I was able to see 3 gates open, and I only went into 2. So I didn't understand it first. So,
Dehostia, first of Califact, may the clouds shield you.
Beware those glowing blades. They are enchanted with magic destructive to us. If you can find and extinguish the burning altars, the blades will extinguish in kind.
oh, well, he belongs to me anyway. Haha. pretty cool when they're shrouded in smoke. They're essentially thralls. Oh, the rest are skellies. Oh, there's one right there. Don't think that was the first one though. I'm sure I've passed one here. Not here, it's not. Come on, Smokey Robinson. There's another one. Hey, Faceless Mike, how are you? Mine. There's another one. Alright, I gotta go back and find the braziers. That's the priest. That's a bright light. Hey, boy, did you just see a real bright light? Knew I was missing one from the beginning, though. Sometimes I run right past them because I just am red misting. The Blood Rage. Which way to look? It's a dead end. No pun intended, because he was killed there. Get it? Alright, not this way. Not this way. Oh. total dead end, but I don't recall this being a dead end when I came in here. The dungeon is swallowing me. Nope. Now my guide has ceased to function. And I know that's in the works to being fixed. Otherwise, oh, there it is. See, told you, ran right past
The weapon
it.
enchantments are broken. This has, however, drawn the attention of the Ashen Bishops, who have entered the catacombs to destroy you.
Hey, Pac-Man. Good evening yourself, sir. Everything is awesome. How are you? Right on, right on. Well, thanks for dropping by before dinner. That's much appreciated. My better half decided she was going to take a nap. It's been raining here since yesterday afternoon, so not quite dinner time for myself. Oh, this is not the way, and I know because you're here. You just shoot at me. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Yesterday morning, at like 8:30 a.m., we went on an hour-long hike up the Small Mountain or Castle Rock, whatever you want to call it, the hill with the rock, giant-ass rock on it. I don't know if it's Small Mountain, hill, whatever you want to call it. But there's a trail up there, and we went and hiked that yesterday morning. And then about the time we got back, maybe an hour later, it just kept going. It's just been raining nonstop. It's really beautiful out here in the sticks, but definitely not the best weather. Oh, and I know the bishop was right nearby, and then I got lost. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest, so whereabouts are ya? That'd be the one. No, I don't think this is the way. I think this is me running backwards again. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm in Colorado, so we just moved to Castle Rock a couple months back. Moved out of the concrete jungle and up into a town, out of the city and into a smaller town. Oh, I'm definitely backtracking, and I don't want to be backtracking this. Which way? Yeah, and we're literally like right across the street from, like if you were to Google Castle Rock and like the rock that the town is named after, we're literally like, we walk out of if I walked out to my deck or at my patio right now, you can see the rock the town's named after. Nice. Small town life for sure. I was born in the inner city. And, It gets pretty wild in the city, and I loved it when I was younger. But the older I got, the more and more I definitely knew I wanted out of the concrete jungle for sure. Small towns are where it's at, you know. And I mean, I'm not sure. So it's not classified as a city, but there's like 80,000, a little bit over 80,000 people here. But if I were to show you like a picture or like, you know, do a live feed or whatever, I can walk across the street, hike that hill I'm talking about, and from the top of it I can see quote downtown unquote, and it's literally like 5 blocks, and you can see the whole expanse of it, you know what I mean? Literally just houses, you know, shopping, food chains, and highways all around us. I am so in a dead-end area. And I know the door is like right here. It's the one place I'm not running through. Watch. The one. And I already found it. Not that way. But yeah, I agree. Small towns. Yeah, I'm small down. Okay, yeah, downtown or small towns is definitely awesome. My better half, she's from here, so grew up here. Military brat, so lived in Japan for a little bit. I think she was, born Quantico. Oh shit, wow. Okay, so this is the beginning. Wouldn't be a day in the catacombs if I didn't get lost. There's a brazier. I think we're on the right track. Yes, perfect. Oh, he dropped some lore.
The two of flesh.
He dropped a book. Sweet. I think I'm gonna farm him for the books. Huh. So the braziers we're putting out are just smaller versions of those braziers. Alright, so that was the Celestial Gate. And so since I was here, look, it's raining now. Love it.
Dehaustia, first of Califact, thunder, lightning, rain, and gale.
Dead army, the evil dead.
The Three of Minds.
So I don't see any more gates open.
The Two of Minds.
One back there. I really want to figure out what the signifier on the clock was. Oh, look, it is open. That one, that's the one I just came through. Or just went through. Is that the same one? And it's unlocked. There's one over here that was unlocked too. Let's see if it is. I already went through that one. Okay. You don't want to die? You all seek the Grim Reaper? I'm gonna help you out.
The Six of Minds. The Two of Minds. The Six of Minds. The One of Flesh. The Two of Minds. The One of Souls. The Two of Flesh.
Why did it go after?
The Four of Souls.
So it looks like that one is still open. So it must have something to do with this planet
Rowena
leaving
is a
orbit,
loom through which the
or
necrotic...
leaving the Ascension area. Has to be, because that was the same gate, and I'm going to go back through it.
souls.
Of the hex blades has been dealt with. Who knows? Maybe the tree will give you something in thanks.
Completed 44 times. Hangman. Alright. Oh, hey guys, you sleeping on a job? Kiss my boots. Sucker.
The Seven of Souls.
It appears that the Thasians have sealed their catacombs with some kind of magic. These ashen priests are attempting to seal the statue by magic. Slay them, or the way to the catacombs will remain shut.
The Six of Minds. The Two of Minds. The Six of Flesh.
The Red Lady has accepted your sacrifice. Go
Worship
forth
him.
and shed
He
more
loves
blood in her name.
He loves me. I do miss the snow though, because the snow slows down the humans. And I just love snow, so. Being in Colorado, we get a lot of snow. In fact, it's about to snow again, probably. I know we got a cold front coming in. Oh, she belongs to me, the long neck baldy. I think I'm gonna try and get some regeneration back. Get rid of the. I like this because of the levitation and the mass. Oh no, I can't. Oh no, I missed it. Too busy fucking off. Hey, bud. Fucking ever run up on me like that again. Guess you won't be running up on anybody ever again, huh? Fucker. Anyway, damn, I missed it. Huh? Let's see why. Can't zoom in, but I bet it's just because this planet. I think it was related to Ruina? I think it's because this planet just left Ascension, and while it was in the gold, whatever, this final little outline here. I think that's why it was open. I do. I really do. I could be wrong. In fact, I bet that I'm wrong. But I also believe I'm right now. Until proven otherwise. And the weather and the varying degrees of weather are awesome. On that note, I'm going to push forward into the tunnel. Look at that. She wasn't even touched. Oh, barely. She was tickled. She was tickled. I do like how we can string maps together, though. Came in, did a celestial gate, came back out. Now I'm doing the catacomb.
It seems the remaining Ashen Bishop has conjured an oncoming wall of
Oh,
fire.
this one's fun.
You'll have to kill him
So
to dispel
that
it.
fire
Though you should be able to slow
will
his
kill
progress
me
by killing
if it
his
catches
followers.
me, and it will consume. It does start consuming the whole map.
Dehostia, first of Califact. Slower and slower still do mortals go into snow.
We definitely want to hurry through here, or at least get far, far ahead of it. Duty. I definitely think there should be an audio cue for card draw.
The Four of Mines. Three of Mines.
I was drinking that, you sons of bitches. Thanks for doing your job, though. Hold the ability to lift enemies in the air instead of knocking them back. So, I've seen that actually work once, and it was literally when I was just upstairs in the Vale. Let's try. See, I am holding it. If I held that trigger on my sticks any harder, I'd be holding on to my palm. Let's double tap, maybe. No? I did get it to work. It did work upstairs once. Right, fucking. Wonder if I target lock. I'm holding it, brother. I'm holding it. When it worked upstairs, it seemed like it just decided, you know what? It could be my controller though. Hold on. Let me reset it. I have a Gully kit that I programmed. So when I'm playing Diablo 4, I've got a really cool build. I don't really like to follow build guides, right? I like to play myself. I like to play my own game. Nothing wrong with guides for people who need them or people who write them. To each their own. I just prefer to kind of fumble under the hood myself. Anyway, I've got this build that really hurts my hands because it's very spammy and I literally use every button on the controller to do my rotation. So I recently programmed my controller to basically automate and do the rotation for me. And that could actually be why the trigger isn't doing its part. So let's see. But yeah, it even read as a hold, and it worked upstairs. It was pretty wild. So here we go. See, I'm holding it down. Buddy, you gotta knock that shit off. Alright, come here. Let's see if I target. Well, thank y'all for doing your job. I'm trying to experiment. Yeah, see? What without controller is that? You? Let's see. Yeah, see, it didn't even, Okay, it's working that time, but I'm also holding forward. Oh, that is fucking awesome, because if I had another vampire here, do that, and then they come in and just sweep them up. A really cool fucking group play combo. Now I'm not holding anything. Look, I'm clapping. So, that's correct, sir. Working, just not as intended. Because now I'm not holding shit. So let's try. I'm gonna try and W and do it again. Let's do. No. Yo, now I'm only holding forward. So it does work. It does work. I want to figure out how to make it work though. Let's see here. See, holding, no effect. It must just be like it's gonna do it when it wants to. Very interesting. Is there like I'm just gonna get on with it. It is a cool move though. At first I was just like, you know, levitation or telekinesis, cool. Now I want to do something with the build to where I get rid of this. What is that called anyway?
Decasus.
No, not yet. Exsanguinate. Yeah. I like exsanguinate a lot, especially the levitation aspect of it. Maybe I should get rid of bite.
The 7 of flesh.
Well, you're fashionably late, Bone Daddy. Thank you, sir. Thank you. To like a boss. Let's see if I can take out Kale like a boss. He served me, and then I went to bed. I served him the first time today. Second time he got me.
Decasus, first of Oct. You will find at least some relief from the sun beneath the clouds.
Oh, see, it almost... Okay, you know what? Let's try that. It might be me, actually. Let's try this. No. Yes. I think it's just finicky. I think it's just finicky right now. It's gonna be awesome when it gets sorted though. Like, because I can definitely see where, you know, with multiple group members, you know, crowd control, I can see that being really fucking cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool. Like I said, I was just kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I just originally turned my nose up to it, and then I wanted to play with some of the other cards, you know? So, oh, hey, you belong to me. Pets her on the head, strokes her long neck. Okay, let's go get him. He just shot my pet in her bald head. That was my Skelly. That's correct. I do not have blur.
The 9 of mine.
For some reason, I don't know if you intended. You probably did. I just hear Monopoly, you know. You do not collect $200. Do not pass it down. Go directly the long way around.
The 5 of mine.
And I love the Hunter Seeker. Oh, you dirty peasant, go the long way around. Does this part ramp up as well? Like, does this part New Game Plus
The
as
Seven
well?
of Souls.
Get more difficult every time you do it?
The Two of Souls.
You do not have blur. You must go around the peasant. You would love one. Our patio Matt says, "Welcome, peasants." Oh, it's fucking awesome. I want to go hit the button, but I know Cal's gonna teleport up there and fucking hammer my face. I'm gonna do it anyway. There he is. Oh, you sneaky sneak. And look at that. Somehow that I was holding him with telekinesis. That is just super mean, guy.
The Four of Minds.
Why are you teleporting on me? I fucking... Oh, you dirty, dirty, dirty Kale. I'll catch up in a moment. No, not the lockup of an opportunity. Kale's least favorite game growing up was tag. Oh, come on, catch up. I'm gonna die. This lockup happens to me like in the most inopportune times too. I did not die. Sausage fingers. Come on, please. Oh, you and that fucking sneaky teleport. Game, Sir Kale. You better fucking get me. You better fucking get me. Fucking told you. played for the Red Lady.
The one of
Yes,
minds.
Mommy. Mother. Mother, can I go outside and play with my body, Mother? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Came close there when he did his little fucking whirlwind. It came close. That teleport too, I gotta get better at dodging that. Sometimes, like, okay, so I started out target locking him. And, circle strafing and the dodge at the last minute works for some of his attacks really, really well while he's target locked. And then last night I realized that I could dodge his teleport strikes if I got too far away by backing up. This is how I get my hair cut, by the way. This is how I keep my head nice and shiny bald. Screenshot. I'm going to screenshot that because that's a good joke. That's a good joke. Anyway, I got to get better. So I'm going to come back in and fight him again because I definitely want to master. I really hope. Oh, speaking of which, everybody, Thursday at 5 p.m. EST, we're having a 6-player co-op stream with Dennis Dyack himself will be here with us. Varick will be here. I know one of the other. Give me a second. I'll name all 6. Give me 1 second here, because this is important, actually. I don't know who's here, and it's probably people who already know, but whatever. I'm going to say it anyway. Varick, right. Yeah, come on. Alright, so St. Glizzy, myself, Devil Fang, Varick Caldoon, Charlie Dubs. I know I'm missing 2. Who are the other 2, Varick? I hope it doesn't break either, at any rate. I'm missing 2 of the people. I would love to list all the streamers. Lumpy and Calypso. And in case y'all don't know, Calypso and Faceless Mike do a podcast on Spotify. That's a slip. Colorado pot. Anyway, Calypso and Faceless Mike do a stream or a podcast on Spotify called Deadhaus Whispers, where they talk everything Deadhaus and they deep dive the radio plays, and really cool. Give it a listen. Anyway, yes, there you go. So it's Calypso, St. Glizzy, Lumpy Potato, Varick Caldoon, myself, and Charlie Doug? Oh, I just said his name. Whatever, I'll post a proper announcement. I love y'all. I'm just meeting everybody, too, so forgive me. Forgive me. I'm trying. Oh, speaking of which, I just saw that I need to send my logo over. For that stream. Okay, cool. So I'll repost the official announcement once that takes place. Listen. Hunter Seeker. That's a shiny bald head right there. That's a shiny bald head. You can go Bone Daddy needs a haircut. Anyway, big awesome thing. So that's Thursday at 5 p.m. MST, which would be 7 p.m.
Enshrouded silence.
Sorry, 5 p.m. EST. And oh, Jesus fucking Christ, slow down. Slow down. Hit the brakes, nerd. All right. This Thursday, the 21st, 5 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. MST, same time, 2 different time zones. We're going to be doing a 6-player co-op stream Dennis Dyack will also be in stream. There you go. I spit it out and I'm moving on because it's not going to get much calmer than that. Hey, listen. Yes. And that is not to take any credit. Varric, who's in the Twitch right now, he's been around for a very long time. Calypso, Faceless Mike. But he says, Calypso and myself have been around for a long while. Do interviews with some of the voice actors as well. Oh, that must be in the Deadhaus Whispers he's talking about. Yeah, okay. So you know, the Heralds, if you will, the Bricklayers. I'm kind of the new vamp on the block, the new vamp in the tomb, the new vamp in the coven, whatever. I'm the new guy, but I'm hanging out with all the OGs. So I'm getting brought up right. Hopefully, you know, baby fangs. That's right. And I do have fangs in the real world, like extended canines. Although, I noticed a couple years ago the trend with people who wear temporary fangs is to only have one in, right? So I did a little digging in the Googles and discovered that there's an anime character or characters that only have one fang. And so, you know, those that don't have fangs for real emulate said anime tropes. Well, one night I was grinding my teeth in my sleep, and I don't know, it was just in the cards, if you will, but I literally broke off one of my own canines in my sleep by grinding my teeth, and I heard it while I slept, just pop. I heard it, woke up, it was just chilling in my pouch there, my lip pouch, and I still have the tooth, but I do literally have extended canines. Like, I'm super hype vampire fetishes, so this fucking game is literally like just, I've been waiting for a game like this. You know, we've had Skyrim where we get to play vampires. It's fun. Legacy of Kain, of course, classic vampire game. I know there's a lot of bad blood and some industry politics with what happened after the original Blood Omen game. But I enjoyed the Soul Reaver portion. I thought they were interesting platformers. Nowhere near as good as Blood Omen, of course. Blood Omen and Diablo. Blood Omen, Diablo, and Doom will all hold a very special place in my heart because those games were staples of my pixelated diet. So those three games will always. I'm not a big fan of where Doom is nowadays. I think I don't know if it's money. I don't know. I don't find it to be very creative. I don't like where it is these days. Doom Eternal was very arcadey, kind of flashy. So in my opinion, the last really great Doom game is 2016. I really think they were onto something big in 2016, and then they just decided to do what everybody's doing in the industry and play it safe. Doom Eternal is easy as fuck. That's one thing I don't like about it. I love challenges in games, hardcore modes, like, you know, the more challenging the better, for me. So yeah. Anyway, rant off. Probably conversations. I can have these conversations over and over. It's another good vampire game. I did play Vampire, the one where you're the doctor in the time period of the Black Plague. Awesome, Varric. So we have that in common. Varric, for those of you on YouTube, Varric says, I'm a hardcore kind of guy too. I love it. Like, honestly, if it wasn't the textures the story and hardcore mode, I don't think I'd be playing Diablo 4. I do find myself, this is probably my 5th or 6th season, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. And you already heard this, Varric. I think, we don't need to go back into it. I think this is in every stream I've done since I've started streaming Deadhaus. It's soulless. It's just soulless. I just don't like the seasonal play. But every time they release a chapter, I find myself in the season. And I liked ladder play in Diablo 2 years and years ago. I thought it was cool, a cool option, right? You got your game, you got the hardcore mode, right? And then you got the ladder if you want to freshen it up and just keep it fresh. Then Diablo 3 came out, and I know I'm in the minority, but I did appreciate Diablo 3, and I do like it. I bought it 4 different times, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So I do like Diablo 3. The seasons in Diablo 3 I thought were really well done because it didn't feel like you had to do them. It felt like, hey, do you want a cool portrait? Or, hey, do you want a cool pet? Or, come check out the season. You're going to start over. But at the end of it, you can earn a unique reward that was for that season. So I liked it. It felt optional. There was no, I know one of the buzzwords currently is FOMO, fear of missing out. There was no FOMO with the seasons in D3 or the ladders, which essentially are seasons in Diablo 2. There's no FOMO. In Diablo 2, it's more of a challenge. In Diablo 3, it was more of extra stuff. In Diablo 4, I feel the developers didn't know what the fuck they were doing and have no heart. And they were just like, hey, we've got this cash cow just sitting here waiting to be dusted off. So we know that people love the ladders in Diablo 2, and they've been playing it for 30 years, so let's just force everybody into the seasons. And then, of course, Blizzard, in true soulless fashion, started copying the Battle Pass business model. And if anybody's playing Diablo 4, I'm not talking shit. I like Diablo. I've been playing it my whole fucking life. I really love it, but I feel it's in a very soulless, stagnant place currently because the developers and the board and the corpo aspect of Blizzard is just sucking the money. They don't give a shit about producing a game that people are going to love. Here's the catch, and I know nobody in the industry is going to hear me, and I'm just talking into the fucking ether. Let me catch up on chat. I don't believe there will be any FOMO, if at most rotating industry. Yes. Diablo 2, I played D3 enough, but it was too cartoony. Yep, I remember you saying that the other night. There was a lot to do, right? And I feel it really did with the retconning and stuff. I really feel that it helped glue the story from Diablo 1 up until 3. I think it did a really good job collecting the whole story and making it accessible to a younger generation. That being said, I hope the generational gap between 3 and 4 isn't just soulless and soul-sucking, and I hope it isn't depictive of this current generation, because it means it's soulless. And maybe I am an old and bitter vamp. That could be. I won't deny that. I mean, I can't. Storyline was alright, but I think D4 missed the mark with the world building. I will agree there 100%. It was better when it was mostly random maps with a few static areas. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. I also feel that the camera is really shitty with the hit collision in Diablo 4. You'll clearly visibly think you're in a safe stance or a safe placement, and you'll get popped. So I don't, Diablo 4, they initially, you can tell they were just fucking sucking Epic's farts. They were just literally like, oh, Epic Fortnite's killing it with his battle pass, dude. That's what we gotta do. And even Call of Duty, when I was growing up, Call of Duty was like the sim, right? It was the military simulator that you played when you weren't playing Doom, because Doom is very fast and more arcadey. They're just different shooter vibes. And COD was where you went when you wanted a really good military fucking gunplay, right? Now it's just dime a dozen bullshit that you can get out of any bubblegum or shooter. There is nothing fantastic about fucking Call of Duty except the zombie mode. I do appreciate the zombie mode. Whatever. That could just be a taste thing. But I do feel with Diablo 4, Blizzard just totally took like the ultra stagnant safe way, and I do believe it's because nobody on the team knew or understood or even played Diablo 1, 2, or 3. I really believe they were just like, hey, we got a cash cow IP that's just collecting dust. Let's get some nerds in there and throw it together. So they copied the Battle Pass formula, which drove the community insane, and you can check the numbers. People were there for season 1 and 2, and we all fucking vanished because we didn't want to play battle passes anymore. So then they changed the battle pass system into reliquaries, and now I feel it's more wallet predatory because you're not even getting the same quality shit that we were getting in the first couple seasons, right? So, and it's the same amount of, you got to invest the same amount financially. And I am what they call a whale in the industry. Again, I've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars. If I showed you my Fortnite skin collection, you'll probably hate me. Because I do have I have some shit, right? I'll just leave it at that. Diablo 4. I have spent damn near $1,000 in skins. Because I like them. The game's got beautiful text. What's up, Punkin? Okay, will you steal some sodas or something? Yeah, see if she's got some cool shit in the fridge. Yeah, just all right, cool. Will you be safe? Okay, I love you. All right, tell the internet hi. Hi. Okay, now fuck off and be a good girl. Drive safe, okay? Hey, drive safe, okay? Okay. I love you. That's my better half, y'all. She's the good one. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. So, and now you might be like, well, why don't you just quit playing Diablo? Because I fucking love it. Like the story, the Lilith, Mommy Lilith. Stop it. Elias, like the story is so goddamn good. And Blizzard always has killed it with the cinemas. Let's just be honest there. They've always killed it with the cinemas. But most importantly, when it comes to games like Blood Omen and Diablo and Doom, these are games that when they were first created, they had heart and soul. The developers gave a shit. They wanted to produce a really good experience. It wasn't just about, hey man, I got to recoup this financial blah blah at the end of the quarter. We got to trap the kids in the game for thousands of hours. People have been playing and raving about Blood Omen for decades because it's a fucking awesome experience. Doom, awesome experience that has just turned into this bubblegummy, flashy bullshit. Diablo, bubblegummy. Dennis and I were talking about this the night I met Dennis. How the ARPG moniker, right, genre, the action role-playing game genre, I don't even feel Diablo is valid calling itself an ARPG, because you literally hold a button down, move in circles, and in Diablo 4 all the classes are just palette swaps. My fucking Whirlwind Barbarian plays just the same as my no minion Necromancer that has Bone Storm and Blood Mist. They play exactly the same. It just takes a little bit of effort to build the two different builds, but they play exactly the same. The lightning orb sorcerer, right? They all play the fucking same. So it's not even as good as Diablo 2, where every class feels different. Placement, you know, where you stand and where you are in Diablo 2 seems to have be more substantial than Diablo 4. So I'm going to get off Diablo 4 because I'm not trying to endorse Diablo while I'm playing Deadhaus. I do feel these conversations and rants and having them accessible on the internet are important. Not only will they possibly find somebody of like-mindedness, but they might help somebody else open up their mind and their eyes and you know, because again, Dennis and Apocalypse are onto some really big things by trying to break the proverbial mold in that stagnant, generic game space. And so that's just very, very awesome. Let's say this game, and I told Dennis this myself, but let's just say this game was like a fucking 2D Flash game, right? The fact that he is doing something unique, the quantum fucking, I don't even know what to call it, the quantum coding, the quantum mechanics, the quantum science aspect of Deadhaus is just fucking mind-blowing and brilliant. And I love, like, you know, even if I didn't play Blood Omen or Eternal Darkness, which are my two experiences with Dennis's games, I stopped playing Metal Gear after 4. Dennis is good in breaking the mold. I agree with you, Varric. I agree. And he always has been. He's always been there. Because again, Blood Omen and Diablo came out pretty close together, if I remember correctly, without Googling. But if my memory, especially on the PlayStation 1, was I remember picking up both Blood Omen and Diablo within like weeks of each other, without Googling to make sure I'm accurate. But I do remember picking both those games up, and I love isometric top-down games because of Blood Omen and Diablo. Gauntlet, the original coin-op Gauntlet, right? Blood Omen and Diablo were like versions of that that I loved. But very, very, very genre breaking, and not genre breaking, genre defining. I feel Blood Omen and Diablo have been copied so much that, like, people don't even know where certain things in gaming come from, right? We can go ahead and give the color-coded loot, you know, that, like, Gearbox put in Borderlands. Color-coded loot's a Blizzard thing, y'all. Like, that came from Blizzard. That's one of their contributions to gaming. And, you know, it's a good system. It's a good system. Gauntlet was a great... Yes. I don't even want to know how many quarters I worked, stole, and swindled from my elders playing Gauntlet coin-op. Hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars went into Gauntlet specifically growing up. Quarters. It seemed like every time I had a quarter, I was trying to find a Gauntlet machine. But the Tengen, do you remember the cons of the 8-bit Nintendo release of Gauntlet? Going down all 100 floors and hoping that you got the combination. I forget his name, but there was that purple, lumpy, devil-looking dude. I don't even know what he was, but he was definitely some type of monster, demon monster. And you had to get the passcodes. You had to go all the way down to level 100. Once you got to level 100, if you had found the passcode, you could fight, like, the main demon or the main monster. I just remember he had a red cloak and he was purple. Nice. I never did either. So, fun fact, Gauntlet with the passcode and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out are the two Nintendo games I still, to this day, have never finished. Like, I'll jump in to fight Mike Tyson in that game. I can work him. But I cannot seal the deal. And I know Mike Tyson will never see this bullshit, but Iron Mike, they did a good job with your fucking Nintendo games here. To this day, those are the two Nintendo games that still work me. Yeah. I never did finish. We never had the entire passcode. We never did. Because it seemed random. I'm sure there was a formula. But it seemed very random getting that passcode. I'm gonna keep playing while we BS here, though, Eric. There's just something so fucking special in this game. And my only regret, or my only really valid complaint with Deadhaus Sonata is not knowing about it sooner. That's it. Like, I wish I was a backer. Another little side story. I did back Friday the 13th game with Gun Media. My name is in the credits. I didn't back it enough to get. I didn't do like the skin. It was a $10,000. It was a $10,000 donation or whatever to get your skin in the game. Unfortunately, I just didn't have that kind of spread at the time. But I did get my name in the credits. I think it was $3,000 to get your name on a tombstone in the graveyard. By the time I was ready to upgrade my involvement, those tombstones had been filled. Otherwise, my name would have been on one of the tombstones for all the players to see. But if you go through the credits of the backers, my name is in the credits. And sadly, it left a sour taste because Gun they pulled the plug. Now they'll tell you it's because of the fucking lawsuit with what was it, Victor Miller, and I think the other guy's name was last. Anyway, there was a copyright dispute over fucking Jason Voorhees. Gun will tell you they pulled the plug on the game and turned it off because of that, and I'm gonna call bullshit, right? I'm 100% calling bullshit because they had everybody's blessing. They had an iteration of Jason from Jason X in the game. In the virtual cabin, they had a little game that you could solve, a bunch of riddles and shit, a puzzle that you can solve, where you ended up on the ship from Jason X. So they already had all kinds of shit planned out. They, I just believe, pussed out. I do. I believe they pussed out, and I think they let down the fans. And I do. I think it soiled the whole backing games thing. I'm a huge horror buff. Love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Definitely my favorite horror franchises. So, I don't know. Terrifier runs a very close second. Terrifier's a good series too. So I did play Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game as well, which was pretty fun for a long time. Oh man. But yes, I like you, Varric. Varric's I never finished Simon's Key. Is that what the code was called? Or are you talking something else? If we're talking Simon Belmont, Simon. Oh, okay. I know of a game, Solomon's Quest. For some reason, seeing Simon's Key in text is like blinking up Solomon's Quest. And then of course there's Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I'm not familiar with Simon's Key though. Is that another awesome sleeper hit from the past? And I don't know if Dennis is. I'm going to say this to Dennis on Thursday, but if there's ever an opportunity to back the game again, I'll definitely procreate and donate my firstborn. I would love to fucking back this. No son. Solomon's Key. Not okay. So I vaguely remember playing this game. Solomon's something. I don't know if we're talking the same game, but I do vaguely remember having this in our or renting this game actually. Solomon's something. I definitely remember renting, and it was an RPG. Ooh, look at these cards. Ooh, we want this. Yes, yes! I definitely fucking remember this. Ooh, Grand 666 passive battery generation. And necrotic. Oh, this one too. We can put you. Oh, look at all that blood regeneration. I think I'm just gonna burn all of these, regardless of what they are for minion duration. Yes.
Those with the cursed blade.
I don't remember how to play it. I remember. I just who produced that? Solomon's. Oh man, and the Mighty Bomb Jack. For some reason, they have nothing to do with each other, other than I think they were developed by the same people or released by the same developers. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Cause I remember like the same like logo or something on both of these games. Let's see, Solomon's Key developers. Tecmo, yes. It's so fucking stupid. I don't remember that. Tecmo Wrestling, Tecmo Bowl. Ninja Gaiden was fucking Tecmo originally. Mighty Bomb Jack. I do believe these are the same developers. Yeah, Tecmo. So I'm totally correct. Solomon's Key and Mighty Bomb Jack. We did rent both of these when I was a kid. Oh, yep, and there it is, the visual, the fucking wizard. And you're right, he's literally doing what you're saying, the platform. I totally remember this game. I don't remember too much about gameplay, but I do remember this game. I do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's fucking awesome. That is super awesome. Yes, super awesome. What about Wizards and Warriors? That's another RPG where you're a knight. I think it was Tenjin. Man, the lack of snow got me sad, but it's still cool to see. Oh, Varric, since you're here, while you were at dinner, this planet here, Ruina
is a loom through which the necrotic aspect of magic is woven.
Swords and Serpents,
this is
okay.
The aspect of death and decay. The magic that spirals with vulture.
That reminds me of a movie called Sword and Sorcerer. Sword and Sorcerer, The Sword and the Sorcerer, I believe is what it's called. But I did not play Swords and Serpents. Wizards and Warriors had some funky jumping. You're a knight, and it I remembered even being like a controller breaking kind of game as a kid, because the jumping just sucked in it, and it had some platform parts. But I do have a question for you. So I did a celestial gate during one of my runs shortly before you got back from dinner. Now, the celestial gate...
Rowena is a loom.
Was that open because Rowena was in, like, it was in this ascension area. But as you can see, it's now kind of moved out. So was it just, you know, the time? Like, I want to make sure I'm understanding the celestial keys and the glyphs opening and unlocking on the doors. And I know that the celestial gates open when the planets are in alignment, but there were no other planets in the ascension area. It was only Rowena. So is there a way to tell when the planets are going to open, or is it just we got to come in and see? That had something to do with the clock. What it was, I cannot say because I do it. Yes, sir. But the moon was out of alignment before I logged off. Okay. Okay, understood. So we still don't have that answer. Because yes, at first there were 2 gates open. There was one on each side. I came out of the celestial gate, back into the veil. The gate over here in the direction I'm looking, we'll call this north, just, you know, for convo. It might not be north, but for convo. There was one over here. So the gate over to the left, we're not going to call that north, we'll just call it left and right. The gate on the left had closed by the time I had completed the gate on the right. Yep. Or do you mean in the clock?
With the rain, primordial lightning is strengthened. With the storm, it falls at random.
I was trying to ooh, look at that. Now it's fucking overcast and raining as it's supposed to. We better check that. Vampires take damage over time. Primordial lightning damage increase and lightning strikes at random. Okay. Gotcha, understood. I did, while I was listening to that lore, out the window I saw one of the planets floating around the mountains there. Okay, so right there, my big old thumb hit the button to get them to hover. Oh, I really want to figure out the nuance there, just so I can control it, if possible. Little late here, but since I was tabbing out, I figured I might have to do that. Little cool from all night. So, I'm going to stand over this. I'm supposed to be taking damage over time. Might not be implemented just yet. I want to see how much the rain hurts. Because it's running water, right? Might not be up and running, which is good. Good to know that during the rain we will be taking damage, though. Be happy? Oh, I am happy. Wait. What am I missing? I'm totally happy. I just wanted to see if we could see how much damage over time it was. But yes, be happy we could even play this shit. Or are you saying be happy I'm not taking damage right now? Yeah? I should be happy about that for sure, if that's what you're saying. Ooh, got an axe. Well, the thunder so far. I haven't seen lightning just yet. On my next run, I'm going to swap over to Dance Cobb instead of... Oh, see, it worked. It went to work again. Anyway, I'm going to switch over to Dance Cobb and play with that with these big densities here. One or two targets I didn't really mess with it because it seems a little not fluid with my play style. The Hunter Seeker scared me coming back at me like that. Thought that was the way that Baldy Ball stuck in the wall or something, like she shot me. I thought it was of her projectile anyway. Oh, she's mine. little bit of lightning there. There's the celestial gate right there. Go, I'm gonna... The completionist in me wants to do the red lady and the fucking X-Blade. Then the gate. But the reality is that the gate might not stay open for me if I do that. So we're gonna ignore the quest and go for the gate. Now, see, he's right. It's out of alignment. There's really nothing like. We are in the second month of spring, though.
Oct, the vessel. Ustilian ships most often tried their luck in crossing the Sea of Rage in Oct. They must have believed that the month whose sign was the vessel would make their voyage more likely to succeed. But dragons do not care nearly so much for what shapes humans draw in the stars as they do sending ships to the bottom of the sea. Mortal foes who face you in fog will not see you until you are near.
Explore.
The Two of Souls.
Oh, it was awesome. Pushed him back and flayed him in the fucking jaw. Split him down the middle. I turned his Audi into an innie. Oh, fucking awesome. A little thing. Just a little thing. I'm definitely seeing a controller bug that was listed, where every once in a while it'll just jerk off one direction. Came out. Everybody does it. A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Oh shit, I didn't realize I even had to do these. Okay. I better backtrack. I literally thought I was just running through like it was the first visit. Oh, this would be the first visit, huh? The Braziers. The second visit's the fire. That was the last gate, was the fire. This one's already out, game. But yeah, it's every once in a while when it happens, it is annoying. I think I'm alright. Gotta be the... Ooh, maybe not. Let's do a different direction. So yeah, I mean, you seem to be more knowledgeable on the queue. Do they post that information somewhere there? Like what is in the queue, or is that on the forums? I've only briefly dug around there, so. Gotcha. I suppose it's probably safer for them not to say a whole hell of a lot sometimes because, you know, not everybody's as cool as we are, and by we, I mean, like, you know, the people that are in full support of the project and the team. But ooh, what is, ooh, first time I've seen this. We're not gonna, ooh. Ooh, what do I do? Should I fuck with that? The first time I've seen that. Bad map! Bad map! Okay, we're gonna rotate this way. And we're gonna definitely do... Wait. I saw nothing. Literally! Literally. They're probably already aware, but I'm doing my due diligence. Texture, failed textures, and mapping. This section of the catacombs during a celestial gate has gone wonky with bad textures and bad mapping. I'm sure you're aware. Hopefully, and if not, you are. We are doing my part. Doing my part. Oh, fuck. I need to open this more. Screenshots. This. Uh, 0.11. Yes, if you need to, you can talk to me whenever you want. The time is 6:13. Does this result in a crash? Not yet. I'm gonna put unknown just because I'm gonna attempt to go through it. And it might cause a crash. but it hasn't thus far. All right. And that's why I love being a part of testing phases. You get to help them find stuff. This is the first time this has happened to me, and between co-op and solo, I've been in the catacombs maybe 20, 25 times. First time I've seen this, but I cannot get through there, so unfortunately, oh, there's some lockup. Hope it's not a crash. It stared back. He said, I saw nothing. It stared back. Alright, well, hopefully that's not the way. I like stringing the maps together. That's why I'm playing solo tonight. Because I can actually just keep moving. But back to what we were saying, I hope it doesn't break Thursday as well. It'd be really cool if we could come in and 6-man Sir Kale. I think that's gonna be the way through though, and I think this gate is a bust. Which is, dead end. Yeah, I think that's the path. Ooh. I wish I could port to the hub and then port back. Just to keep it moving. And because I burned my... Well, no, I probably got some of those kept. Where the fuck was that sneaky son of a bitch hiding? Why can't I find my way back to the first Brazil? Lots of... Did it fix? Did it correct itself? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, this is the beginning. All right, brother. You have fun as well, as much as you can. We'll see you next time. Take care. That adulting thing will get you every time, doesn't it? Oh yeah, this is the way back to the broken area. And this was all a dead end. I'm gonna check it one more time. I think this is a bust though. Bummer. Unless I can get around that spot. And just find a way. Bummer. Go back to the hub. Hoping to find a path around that. I bet if I just get around that couple rooms, I can. Oh man, another demo. Doesn't look like I'm gonna find an alternate path. Very much a bummer. Next time, Gadget. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't look like I'm gonna find an alternate path. The bust. Alright.
Detorins, 2nd of Oct.
Minute damage. Wait, what? Duration and damage? I'm a necromancer. Alaric ain't got nothing on me. So I noticed sometimes the axes do not let me put 4. It's got to have this space here to put that 4th car or that 4th sigil. And I noticed that sometimes they just do not have that space. See, it doesn't have the space. I don't know if that's intended or if just sometimes they only have 3 slots. But the axe in my hand definitely has that space. So, like the blood regeneration, necrotic, that stays. No, so we can get rid of the golem one. Ooh, that's a tough one. Dot? Minion damage or attack speed. We're going with minion damage. I'm a necromancer.
Detorins, 2nd of Oct. May the clouds shield you.
I do love how every time you come in, it just gets harder and harder.
The 2 of Minds. The 2 of Souls. The 4 of Minds. The 4 of Minds.
He's fucking jumping that trolley so fast. I can't knock him down. After this run, I'm going to submit, well, no, they know about the controller for support. I'll wait. Gonna throw another bug report in about the controller, well, not the controller, the, telekinesis doesn't, allow me to hold them. Shit.
The 8 of Flesh. The 6 of Flesh.
Oh, he's my fucking draw. Come on, fool.
The 5 of Flesh. The 8 of Minds. The 8 of Flesh. The 6 of Minds. The 2 of Souls.
See you creeping around that wall. Oh, is that my skelly? I just saw a
The 1
hellfire.
of Souls. The 1 of Flesh. The 7 of Souls.
I love it when they're like taking leaks, whatever they're doing, Blair Witching.
The 8 of flesh. The 2 of flesh.
He hits hard, especially when we're looking the wrong way. And flay skeletons explode is fucking pretty cool too.
The 9 of flesh.
The hex blades has been dealt with. Who knows? Maybe the tree will give you something in thanks.
Who knows? Maybe I'll thank the tree. Who knows?
The 2 of mines. The 8 of mines.
It appears that the Thasians have sealed their catacombs with some kind of magic. But it's nothing that a proper sacrifice to the Red Lady can't dispel. Are attempting to seal the statue by magic. Slay them, or the way to the catacombs will remain shut.
The 5 of mines. The 4 of souls.
The Red Lady has accepted your sacrifice. Go forth and shed more blood in her name.
Don't mind if I do.
Beware those glowing blades. They are enchanted with magic destructive to us. If you can find and extinguish the burning altars, the blades will extinguish
what are you
in
doing
kind.
up there?
Detorin,
Adulting done yet? It's
second
quick and
of
easy.
you will find at least some relief from the
Oh,
sun
okay.
beneath
I
the
actually
clouds.
thought that's what you meant when you said you were adulting. Well, have a good evening. Oh, you're still? Okay, you're my guy. Have a good evening at work, Varric, and always a pleasure chilling with you, my friend. You be safe. And, yeah, kick ass. Super great. Third shift is always the worst, huh? Ah, understood. Okay, I get it. I see. Time to do your bit, little one. Well, yeah, brother, you have a good night, man. And I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Will do. Saw somebody running at me.
The one of souls.
I just had a feeling to go this way, and it was right.
The weapon enchantments are broken. This has, however, drawn the attention of the Ashen Bishops, who have entered the catacombs to destroy you.
Let them come. Coincidentally enough, I entered the catacombs to destroy them. Okay, Mr. Arrow Man. You fucking archer. Get up, dude.
The Seven of Souls.
Oh, he didn't drop no lore book for me.
The Eight of Wands. The Nine of Flesh. The Six of Souls. The Four of Souls. The Two of Minds.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Bye-bye. You bear witness to me. Well, you guys are fucking fashionably late. Lay down. Hit that third switch for the play puzzle. Oh, mega crash. Oh, bummer. Ah, fuck. That was a fun run and a mega crash. Mega crash. right at the end. Well, fuck it. I guess that's a good place to stop. Oh, man. That was fun, though. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great week. And we'll see you next time. Jimmy James, a.k.a. Jimmy Germs, a.k.a. Devil Fang, signing the fuck